When your heart is racing at the speed of light, and you feel like you got nowhere else to go. No, I'll hold you till the sun comes in the morning light. Yeah, I'll keep you safe, I'll never let you go. When your heart is racing at the speed of light. When your heart is racing at the speed of light. Yeah, I'll keep you safe. Yeah, I'll keep you safe, I'll never let you go. When your heart is racing at the speed of light.
Good morning and welcome to CFC here in Lanzarote. This is our second game of this tournament. We had one this morning, wins versus moved up. This is a Swiss draw tournament and we are watching Umama versus No Limit. I'm Amelia Durbin here, joined by Dean in the booth. Dean's first commentary gig. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling great. A little bit nervous to be on the mic for the first time, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I assume you've watched a lot of commentated games, so you kind of know what to expect here.
Yeah, I've watched Frisbee before, a couple of times probably, but yeah, let's see if I can pull it off the way you guys do.
It's got to be confident and talk out loud. We've got Umama here starting on defense in the dark jerseys. I have just touched their jerseys. Some people do still have the tags on. They're a weird, like, cotton blend, not nice to play in the sand in. You see Umama getting ready to work, and No Limits to the left of our screen in the red jerseys, some with a No Limit top on, some with just some red kit, so not super matchy.
Yeah, definitely more of a coordinated outfit from Umama, but there's the first pull and let's see how things go.
First pull indeed goes up, and it's a brick, which means Umama will be walking with the No Limits defender down to 1/3 of the pitch to basically decide, a punishing start. But disc is tapped in, and we are off to the races now. No Limits. Deep strike goes up immediately with Itamendi. Alvaro going high. Great box from Itamendi, a well-known defender in the UK and in Spain, plays for Deep Space, and that's our first. Umama scored as the weird rain keeps coming down. Thankfully it's not that much, but I am slightly concerned for the laptop, so again, just gonna move away a little bit.
They really don't warn you about the hazards of this job when you start off.
No, I'm sorry.
I did get electrocuted to death on my first game.
Yes, but we're out of the rain now. I'm so perplexed because it's sunny in front of me, but there must be a big rain cloud above our head. But No Limits now on offense. They're 3-0 down in this Swiss draw kind of pool game. A turnover has been called, potentially a foul on the throw, and I can kind of understand, but also kind of did look like the No Limit player kind of pushed through the mark there.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be accepted here, I think. Yeah, there we go. Seems like around right.
So an accepted foul. Discussion.
We see a shot here from
Umama. We've lost the screen.
all right.
Umama now with the disc in the front of their end zone. There's an isolation in the end zone. They move backfield laterally and go down the line. A big is needed, a fantastic bid to keep possession. And there it is. Umama Io. That's a 4-0 lead now for Umama.
Yeah, they're kind of starting to run away with things here. Most of the execution errors so far from No Limit think if they can just compose themselves on disc a little bit, they might find some more joy. They are getting free on pitch, and at this point they just got to calm their nerves. Maybe put one in, and then from that point they can get a bit of momentum. But so far, Umama definitely looking like the stronger team, and with their roster, I think that's probably to be expected.
Yeah, it's obviously early on in this tournament. We mentioned that there are some teams here who are like pickup teams, or like this team is a mixture of players from all across of Europe. So maybe still finding their feet. The roster information we have for No Limits doesn't tell us much, but potentially just kind of figuring each other out still early on in this tournament. And I have no concerns that they're going to be able to bounce back, and hopefully potentially bounce back in this game.
Yeah, the one thing we know for certain with this No Limit roster, from the information they've given us, is that they're from a lot of different countries. So finding those connections early is going to pay dividends for them.
But Umama now with the disc. Deep shot goes up to the end zone, goes to the ground, but it's just over the head of the receiver. Can't get there.
Made a good effort for it. I was just about to compliment the composure from Umama there, contrary to how I was kind of disregarding No Limit. But they've given the disc away now too, so hopefully No Limit can do something with this.
Seemingly a discussion happening, or kind of a slow walk. No, it's just a slow walk to the front of the end zone. No Limit now with the disc. They kind of cut in crosses, but they get a release valve. Pump fakes the deep, free under given for No Limit. Good step there. Umama chasing the defense, coming, goes to the ground, and a turnover. Itamendi straight to get the quick start going, which is so punishing on beach.
That was unfortunate. They were making some really nice cuts out there. Once again, just couldn't quite connect on the throw. This is beautiful here from Umama.
Itamendi puts up a big flick to Denniston, and that is a goal, a connection that we know well from deep space, doing the double-double UK Nationals, European winners twice in a row last year and this year. Not surprised to see them kind of connecting there.
Yeah, beautiful connection from two elite mixed players.
Quite a dominant performance so far from Umama.
During that point, we had a few of the Umama players just kissing on the sideline. It's starting to look pretty casual for them, and they're definitely enjoying their time on the beach.
Thankfully, the rain cloud has now passed, so we can start drying things out again. And hopefully, for the rest of the weekend, the rain stays away. It would be a real shame to come all the way to Lanzarote and get cold and soggy. As we see a bricked pull trailing right over the tents by the looks of things. The wind has picked up. This morning it was pretty calm, but it's definitely getting ever so slightly more breezy here.
A thrower's wind. Having got one game under my belt already so far today, it's definitely still possible to hit every area on this pitch, but edge control becomes really important when you're dealing with these kind of conditions.
Of course. Who are you playing for, Dean?
My team is Salsa Tequila Corazon.
And did you get a win this morning?
We did. We got a nice Swiss draw points booster.
Fantastic. High disc from No Limits, sitting perfectly, but just outrun by the Umama defender, just able to get ahead and knock it to the floor. This point's ticking on now, but Umama really showing some dominance. It's 4-0. Games of 45 minutes. Umama now putting up a big deep throw. Defender is there. Can they get a read on it? They can. Woo, what a goal. A little bit of body contact, but that's a goal.
Yeah, hopefully she's all right after that. We saw her make a big athletic play to outpace a defender on the D, and then to make that grab as well, flexing that athletic advantage.
Yeah, that's 5-0 now in this Swiss draw game. Potentially a bit punishing for No Limits. However, Lots of time to recover as they have taken a timeout. Timeouts here, probably like 30 seconds to a minute, but most teams often take a little bit more time than that.
Yeah, understandably so. If you're no limit in this position, down 5 or 6 at this point, I reckon they got to take this time out, get things together, and maybe draw something up.
Absolutely, and whilst they take their timeout, we are going to take a quick timeout here in the booth, and we'll be back with you shortly.
I'm Steph Pazzo, and I must eat.
Sometimes commentator, sometimes food eater.
On my ultimate travels in 2023, I sampled culinary classics from all across Europe,
Oh, wow.
guided by some of your favorite ultimate players.
That's the Dutch hospitality for you right there.
I'll give you an insight into the secret spots that only the locals know of.
Are these the best schnitzels in Vienna?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
Go find Steph Pazzo on YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow the European Ultimate Must Eat series.
Welcome back to CFC here in Lanzarote. We are watching Umama versus No Limits. Umama are 5 points up and a timeout has been taken by No Limits. And they strike a big throw, tries to toe it in but can't hold it on.
Yeah, it was a good effort, just out of reach. I like the shot for No Limit. He definitely had separation, but once again, they just got to keep the edge down on that disc and make these plays easier for their receivers. Hopefully I'm a little bit louder. I see my teammate Tim Stuhlert in the chat. Yeah, hi.
Hi,
see you later,
Tim.
bro.
Umama now with another opportunity. Itomendi goes downfield, puts up a lovely throw. I think a turnover, unfortunately, just a little bit too far. The corner of the tent is blocking Dean and I's view to that part of the court at the end zone, so I have to scoot round the table.
Yeah, trying to judge
see.
from crowd reactions what's happening more than anything. But an uncharacteristic turnover from Juan Carlos Troyano, known as Troy.
Umama now looking a bit picky downfield, seeing some hesitant pick calls, but I think totally fair. Just everyone getting a little bit tangled in that middle space. Off to the races now. No Limits put up another throw, but just eaten up by the defender. Goes to Archer, goes high, keeps it in the hand, goes backfield, down to Itomendi, keeps it inbounds. Lateral swing, and there's the goal. Another break for Umama, 6-0.
Beautiful tiki-taka offense there from Umama. A lot of the Spanish players making connections there. But I think what we're noticing here now is a clear tactical decision from Umama to start forcing these no-limit players deep. They really back themselves in these athletic duels, and they're coming down with everything that goes along. So I wonder if we'll keep seeing that. I wonder if we'll see an adjustment from No Limit maybe to start taking more of the unders.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's a shame that No Limit kind of haven't been able to perform in this game. I think they're probably going to be feeling a little bit disappointed with themselves. However, potentially a comeback could be happening. We did see them take that timeout where they kind of had a conversation and maybe recentered and refocused. But sometimes on a team when you don't necessarily have someone who's in charge, specifically with like a pickup team, whose role is it to change those tactics? Whose role is it to kind of take the lead and say, hey, let's do things differently? And maybe that's what No Limit's struggling with here.
Yeah, that's a great point. You often need some sort of leader on a team to make those decisions, because it's hard to speak up and be like, I'm disappointed in this pickup team's performance.
It's true. It's a tricky one. Are you here to have fun? Are you here to play Frisbee? Are you here to do both? Hard to do both. And we see another uncharacteristic turnover there by Umama, just throwing a little bit too high. So No Limit now with an opportunity. Right on the back shoulder are the Umama defenders, doing a really good job of forcing the disc high, and there is the D just wafted away.
Yeah, break chance for No Limit on their first D point of the game, but weren't able to convert first time around. Let's see if they'll get it back.
7-0. This is going to be giving Umama some fantastic almighty algorithm points. Looking a little bit stuck, but Layla Deniston downfield, striking under, calls for it and receives it. There is a bladey. Yeah, that is a great and decisive D. Not surprised to see a D there.
Authoritative D.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of an unnecessary kind of overexcited assist attempt there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of complacency creeping in for Umama, perhaps. Maybe not. Maybe they're just enjoying themselves.
So we see a slow walk down to pick up the disc, this No Limit side. They are 7-0 down, which is a punishing scoreline, especially because games are only 2:13. Just 15 minutes on the clock with a 45-minute game. We could be wrapping up fairly soon if Umama kind of keep this decisiveness. A bit of a scrappy point we are having now, though. Some good tight defense there from Umama, kind of really going hard, no around. Needs a release valve, really hanging on to the disc. Whoa. Finds one. Surprised the stall out wasn't called there. Umama now starting to lag behind on defense. They're starting to really have to push the legs. Can No Limits get a break? No, they can't. Umama just run in and snaffle it up, and there's the deep shot, pumping the arms and the legs, and that's the goal to take it to 8-0.
Yeah, it's a beautiful goal. I think we're starting to see some joy there from No Limit, grinding those small passes. Some of their players stepping up and trying to make things happen now, but just clever read on defense and then to put that goal in so efficiently. I'd say both teams probably benefiting now from the Swiss draw system that we've moved to with this tournament. Hopefully some more competitive games in the next round, but a really strong start from Umama, and I have my eye on them for the rest of this tournament. I hope my team sees them.
Yeah, I think the efficiency is a fantastic word to describe the Umama team. They're just kind of making it look so easy. I don't even think they've necessarily broken a sweat.
I'm looking, yeah, I don't see a sweat on any of them.
And they are, honestly, some of these players are wearing cotton jerseys with the tags hanging out the back. They are here, they're here for the vibes, and they're playing great Frisbee.
The stakes are high. If those jerseys do get sweaty, they're going to start itching, and clearly they're not keen to do that.
Yeah, the thought of like laying out in a cotton jersey when it's a bit sweaty and then having sand stuck to you for all of eternity makes me feel quite unwell. Foul being called. Alana was able to intercept it. Archer there just kind of sticking out a hand and getting it, but a foul uncontested and accepted. So No Limits with the disc. Just a misconnection. I think the player thought the player was going deep, but came under and then just popped it over the head. Umama now 8-0 up. Can they make it 9? Good defensive pressure from No Limits, right on the back shoulder, but good hands. Big shot goes up. I'm coming round the table, and that's a goal. 9-0 now. Really, really dominant from this Umama side.
Yeah, there's not much to say about it, really. I think we're just seeing a really strong performance from a strong team, and yeah, sometimes it goes that way.
Sometimes it just be like that, as they say.
It do.
Not really. Observationally from this No Limit side, I'm not too sure what they can necessarily do to kind of improve. It just feels like they're kind of figuring each other out, which, as we mentioned, they are a team of players from all across the UK, or not the UK, sorry, all across Europe. So maybe they're just trying to figure it out, see who's kind of the star player, who's the role player, who's the handlers, who's the cutters, who's the D-line, who's the O-line. But I'm sure they'll find their feet. But a question for you, Dean. Your teammate says, will your team win?
Well, Tim didn't see us this morning, but if he did, he would know that we're going to win.
Is Tim here?
Tim is arriving for the party tonight.
Oh,
in classic Tim fashion.
Fantastic, arriving in style.
Yeah, we do have a really strong team, and hopefully you'll see me on stream rather than just hear me at some point later in this tournament. Hopefully in some...
Just been delivered some mango.
Some beautiful fruit arriving.
Thank you very much.
The Coman Fruta Cabrones.
Delicious.
Gracias.
That's the best thing about commentating. Get treated like a princess. New disc being called.
Shout out to my dad in chat.
Oh, Dean, you're bringing all the fans.
We know what they're here to see.
They're here for you and only you. Right, Umama now. On defense, no limits, big fake. Goes lateral. No limits have got good movement, but they're just misconnecting. And Umama now with the disc. Just a grin on the face of the Umama side. They really know that they're working so hard. Bid's going to be needed. Goes to ground. What a reception after a slight misread. A goal is a goal. That's 9-0? 10-0?
Yeah, it's 10 now. Really good grab. Second time around.
The Umama side just really having fun with it. You see them running around with a big grin on their face. They're playing happy, and it's kind of being reflected in their scoreline. No limits, though, not to feel disappointed. It is really hard to come onto a stream and kind of get beaten by a lot. Not only because you know the people are watching, but also because for the rest of your tournament, obviously, it's going to be a bit of a black mark, specifically in the Swiss draw. However, as Dean mentioned, it will give them kind of a more favourable next game, which is why Swiss draw is good, because ideally it kind of matches you up with people in your kind of area, in your kind of rank, which means the games that you play probably are going to be a bit more favourable to you. But Umama put up a bricks pool, which means it'll be walked 1/3 of the way into the pitch.
This is good. I would love to see a goal from No Limit at this point. I think we've been maybe a little bit harsh in our critique so far. We're definitely seeing quality from them at times. But if they can just execute on a couple more of those throws, then avoid that devastating bagel.
Oh, what a read from Archer.
Pretty casual. Allowing Archer skies the two defenders, and yeah, doesn't seem too fussed about it.
Yeah, the no limit spacing does look really good. Maybe it's easy to say if a team is losing by a lot what they are doing wrong, but the spacing looks good. I really do think it's personal execution errors, which is often kind of the trickiest way to lose a game, because it's not necessarily the structure, it's not necessarily the way you're playing Frisbee, it's just the things that almost you can't control. The slight overthrows, the drops, so hopefully that's kind of something they're going to adjust and build on as the tournament goes on. But
yeah,
it's
just getting more throw-in reps on the beach in early. Definitely a lot of teams out at the parties last night and maybe not here on time to warm up, affecting throws, affecting that early Friday morning performance.
yeah,
It is Friday, right?
yeah, that sounds about right. At these Frisbee tournaments, life just blurs into one big weekend.
Yeah.
But no limits now, on offense, hoping to put in a goal to avoid that all kind of scary bagel, as we call it in Frisbee. They're looking good, they're pushing it up the sideline, they're going to need to go in field, instead they take it down the line. One player really stepping up and kind of driving the offense now. They need to hold their composure. Layout D attempt taken,
yes.
And there's the goal that Dean called. Their first on the board, 11-1.
Yeah, I'm delighted for them. They deserve that, and they strung together a really nice passage of play there. And it's nice to see smiles on their faces. We had them dead and buried, but they've resurrected themselves enough to cash that bagel out for a breadstick instead.
I've never ever heard that phrase before. They've cashed one out for a breadstick.
It's just off the dome. I don't know if that is a phrase.
Wow, I'm going to take that. It's fantastic. Dean, you need to copyright that big time.
Don't ever say it.
I won't. Every time I say it moving forward, I'll be like, my friend Dean, he said this once and it was amazing.
Acquaintance.
Fantastic. Fantastic. But there's still time for a comeback. We've thankfully, for No Limit, they kind of conceded quite a few points in not many a lot of time. So the break train could be all they need to bring this game back closer and get some points on the board. But Umama kind of rolling with a real confidence here on offense and defense, so wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of putting this in fairly easily, as we see the disc going up to Archer, who just takes it down. I think a pick has been called, or something. Hand signals not looking the best.
Another call. Just players readjusting their position.
So Lana with the disc, Archer with the disc in hand. I believe it's an in and out call, potentially saying whether the disc, Lana dragged a toe. But a goal has been signalled, which takes Umama 12-1 in their opening game here at CFC.
Yeah, I think you used the phrase fairly easy at one point, and that is exactly how that looked. Nice to see Umama coming out on offense. Maybe give us a glimpse of what they'll look like in the rest of the tournament. If they get into some competitive games, their O-line might have to grind out some of these points and keep games competitive. But yeah, they look really clean when they get those opportunities, and why shouldn't they when they have players like Alana Archer there making that grab?
Yeah. Like we said earlier in a game with Benji that on the sand players can't necessarily get as much vert as they can on the grass. So sometimes being someone who is gifted in the height department really does play dividends on the beach. You are so much more of a target, and also kind of a more threatening defender. You've got wider wingspan, longer legs.
Yeah, it helps when you're already up there. You don't have to jump.
Yeah, amen. But Umama now throwing the pull down, hanging beautifully in the air. No limits. Centering pass looked off, but manages to get it backfield. Good defense from Umama, but No Limits doing well to get round it. There's the deep shot. It's a battle, but swatted away convincingly by Umama. They just need to put this in, and they take this game 13-1. But a turnover. No Limit with the disc. Right outside the end zone.
Nice, another score. It's clear now that No Limit have found what's working for them. It's that smaller disc movement, and they're finding some success a little bit too late in this game. But who knows, maybe these points will add up in the almighty algorithm, so they say.
Absolutely, that's kind of the blessing of a Swiss draw, that a loss early on in the tournament doesn't necessarily define you in the same way it does when we're doing a bit of a pool system. So they could still bounce back, so they could still win the tournament. It's not over. Plenty more Frisbee to come today, Saturday and Sunday here in Lanzarote. The beautiful, beautiful kind of volcanic sand beaches, I've been told. That's why it's got quite a dark hue to it. But Umama now calling a offensive line. As you can see with the ABBA selection, this is a 3 male matching player point with 2 female matching players, which means the male matching player, the dominant gender on this line, will be doing the pull.
Yeah, I reckon we'll only see one more possession in this game, given the line that we're seeing here.
It is a fantastic line. You've got Itamendi and Denniston, who connected earlier, 2 teammates from the UK London team, Deep Space, and kind of legends in the game. Itamendi kind of had a breakout season last year playing for the Spanish beach side over in Huntington Beach, kind of really cemented himself on the map as a player to like watch and know, and has some real class on grass as well. Itamendi strutting to the brick mark. We see a bit of a horror look from Umama. Wanted to take it deep but didn't, so takes the swing. Throws low, IO through the middle, but a pick being called. Disc goes back, so pick happened before the throw.
Call just prolonging things slightly here.
See, disc coming in on 2, it's tapped in. Umama now with a chance to take a win, but a run through D just out of nowhere. No Limits kind of finding the energy late in this game. Can they convert? That has been the kind of all-important question. There's the throw, and that's a break.
And shout out to No Limit. They've made me look like an absolute mug. I called one more possession in this game, but they've gone on to score.
We've lost Dean to say hello to a friend mid-sentence as well. But yes, Dean did say it would be one more possession, and it wasn't. So shout out to No Limits, a fantastic kind of comeback maybe putting Umama on the back foot, but they got a long way to go to bring this game anywhere near close. But Umama are just 1 point away from taking the victory. They got another chance to come out on offense now. Be interesting to see what they do defensively for No Limits, but offensively I imagine we'll see something similar to what they tried to do last time, minus the run through D.
Yes, I reckon so. Apologies there for running away. I saw one of my best friends and I had to give him a hug.
Hey, that's okay. Frisbee is a fantastic community. We're all out here having fun, reconnecting, saying goodbye to a fantastic Frisbee season. It is now the off season for most people in Europe and probably in the US, and this is kind of one of the last kind of big tournaments before everyone goes away and hides in the gym all winter. Another bricked pull. Walking to the field, middle, 1/3 down, and Umama now. 2 players striking deep. They're happy to move it in the lateral space though. And there is the deep shot. A free receiver just out of the end zone. Takes it back field, can't pop it back to them. Gonna need to find a release valve somewhere. There's the little kind of dishy push pass, and that's the win for Umama. 13-3 against No Limit.
Yeah, a bit of a blowout game, but it was promising there from No Limit. I think they'll take some solace from that. Finishing strong, winning the last 5 points of the game. I think that was 3-2 to close it out. So, small moral victory, Swiss draw points. Not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. And we've got plenty more Frisbee coming here the rest of the weekend, today included. The next round, let me just check my schedule if I can find the mouse on my laptop. I can't. The next round at 10:05, so in just 20 minutes. But we'll leave you here for the rest of this game slot. Thank you for joining us. I've been Amelia Durbin, joined by Dean. And we'll be back with you in 20 minutes for the next game.
All right, thanks for having me. Best luck.
And tonight when I fire and ice, I'm burning all over, and we're starting a riot tonight. Don't want this to be over. Any second we're all burned down. If we stay here, we'll probably drown.
Thank you. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
Try to fix it. I try to picture someone else but you.